the maximum permissible deflection for a gantry girder spanning over 7 meters on which an electrically operated crane of capacity 300 kilonewton is operating. So the deflection for uh, electrically operated cranes up to a capacity of 500 kilonewton is going to be L by 750. That implies L is span 7 by 750, that is equal to 9.33 mm. So option B is correct. Group efficiency of a pile group. What is going to be group efficiency of a pile group? Q group by N into Q single. Q group is going to be less than that of number of piles into Q singles. So the denominator is going to be higher, numerator is going to be lower. So it is going to be less than 100%. So option B is correct. Is as the fluid flows along the solid boundary, more and more fluid in the vicinity of the boundary gets retarded due to, as this is a boundary theory, so because of high velocity gradient that exists at end near the boundary, the more and more fluid in the vicinity of boundary gets retarded. So option A is correct. A direct question. A Pelton wheel turbine is which type of turbine? A Pelton wheel is an axial tangential for impulse turbine. So option C is correct. Question is, a control section is one where a definite relationship between depth of flow and discharge exists. So we have to which of the following represents control section? Control section where we are going to use flow under a sluice gates to find out the relationship between the depth of flow and discharge, so that we can solve the problem. So flow in sluice gates, we are going to have that control section. A consumptive use of water for a crop during a particular stage of growth is 3 millimeters per day. The maximum depth of available water in the root zone is given as D max is given as 75 mm. Irrigation is required when the amount of available water in the root zone is 0.5 times the maximum depth of available water. So the irrigation is required when the depth of root zone irrigation is required when the depth of water in the root zone is 0.5 times the maximum depth of water, 75 mm, that is 37.5 millimeters. Therefore the available depth of water for the crop is 75 minus 37.5, that is 37.5 mm of water depth is available for the crop. So frequency of irrigation that is required for every how many days we have to apply the water, that's what we are finding. So 37.5 by consumptive use of water is given as 3 mm per day, that is equal to 12.5 days. After every 12.5 days the water has to be applied to the water so that the available depth can be maintained, so that the crop can be grown. So 12.5 days, very relevant answer for this question is option B. This question, we have to match the list 1 with the list 2. So the list 1 gives that this is polygon, sunshine recorder, penman, hypsometer. All these are used to calculate these things. So in the list 2 it is given as elevation from water surface, hours of brightness, bright sunshine, soil evaporation, mean aerial depth of precipitation. The thesis polygon, we use it to calculate the mean aerial depth of precipitation. So P has to match with 4 and sunshine recorder, as we know, hours of bright sunshine. Q has to match with 2. Penman. Penman is used to calculate the soil evaporation. How much of soil evaporation is occurring. So he has given an equation to calculate that. R has to match with 3. Hypsometers. Hypsometer is used to calculate the elevation with respect to the water surface, mean sea level, we can say. So the hypsometer is used to calculate the elevation. Option 1. So all this P4, Q2, R3, S1. Option D is correct. If we see into the question, in a particular vertical curve, the rising grade G1 is given and the falling grade G2 is given. The rate of change of grade is also given in terms of chains. The length of the vertical curve, we have to find out the length of the vertical curve. The length of the vertical curve L is equal to total change of grade. Total change of grade by rate of change of grade. Rate of change of grade. Total change of grade is equal to G1 minus G2. That implies G1 is zero point 0.9 minus of minus plus 0.6, that is equal to 1.5, and rate of change of grade is given as 0.05 per chain. Therefore 1.5 by 0.05, that is equal to 30 chains. So option A is correct. The 30th highest hourly volume is the hourly volume which is exceeded by only 29 hours in a year is going to be 30th highest hourly volume. So option C is correct. Question is the aeration process adopted in an activated sludge plant which ensures optimal utilization of air is going to be in which type of aeration? It is going to be in tapered aeration. The optimum utilization of air is going to be there. So option D is correct. The question is, as the slenderness ratio of the column increases its compressive strength, other way around, if the slenderness ratio is increasing means the length of the column is increasing. So if the length of the column is increasing, the compressive strength of the column is going to decrease. So option B is correct.
In this problem, we have to find the value of the integral 1 to 2 dx by root over x minus 1 into 2 minus x. Now, in order to find the integration, let us go for certain substitution. So what we do is, let us take x as 2 sine square theta plus cos square theta. So the value of dx will be 4 sine theta into cos theta plus 2 into cos theta into minus sine theta, which can be written as 2 sine theta cos theta d theta. Now x minus 1 will be 2 sine square theta plus cos square theta minus 1, which is equals to cos square theta minus 1 is nothing but minus of 1 minus cos square theta, which is minus sine square theta. So 2 sine square theta minus sine square theta is sine square theta. Similarly, we'll find the value of 2 minus x, which is 2 minus 2 sine square theta minus cos square theta. Now, if I take 2 common, it will be 1 minus sine square theta, which will be 2 cos square theta minus cos square theta. Again, the result will be cos square theta. And the upper limit, if I substitute x as 2, if I substitute x as 2 here, then the value of theta will be pi by 2. And if I substitute x as 1, then the value of theta will be 0. So the lower limit will be changed to 0 and the upper limit will be pi by 2. And dx is nothing but 2 sine theta cos theta d theta by root over x minus 1 is nothing but sine square theta. Similarly, 2 minus x is cos square theta. This can be written as 0 to pi by 2, 2 sine theta cos theta by sine theta cos theta d theta, which is nothing but 2, 0 to pi by 2 d theta, which is nothing but 2 into pi by 2. So the answer is pi, that is option B.